Alright guys, so this video is going to be a little bit different than what I've been recording. I've been kind of recording little tips and, you know, my day-to-day stuff and kind of some insight on what my life looks like. But today, I'm just going to share with you kind of what I wrote down throughout the week and what I've been thinking about. And it doesn't really have anything to do with SMMA or that space, but it has to do with personal development, growth, and business in general. And it's been really helpful to just write down my thoughts every time I have something that I'm kind of thinking about and that has led me to a new conclusion in my life. And to just be able to talk about it and express it has been really helpful for me. So I'm making these videos more for me anyways. Like, I know not a lot of people are going to be seeing this anyways. I don't have a following at all, really. I have literally like 2 subscribers, and you know, if people see it, they see it, and that's cool. But again, like, I'm making these for kind of an archive so I can look back on who I was and how I started to grow into the person that I'm trying to become. Because ultimately, that's what I'm striving for. Which kind of leads to the first point, which is like, you know, I've been learning about this a lot in the, you know, in the personal development niche, but I think if you want something, like if you want to strive for a goal, you shouldn't wake up every day and think, how can I get this goal? You should wake up every day and think, how can I become the person to easily achieve this goal? Or how can I become the person that has already had this goal? So instead of chasing an outcome, you're chasing the development in your own psyche and habits and development so that the goal that you want will come easy. And yeah, like when you think about, you know, doing the work or things that seem difficult or hard, like the journey is difficult, and you're not really on the journey for the end of the journey. Because if you are, you should not, like, how do I explain this? You should not do things necessarily for what it will get you, because that is so meaningless and it's fleeting. Like, once you hit, you know, say your goal is 10K a month or Lamborghini. Once you get that Lambo, like, okay, what are you gonna do? Buy 10 more? Like, no. But if you're chasing, I want to be the person that easily can buy a Lambo and also has a Lambo, then the Lambo doesn't end up owning you, and you don't really own the Lambo. You just happen to have one in your possession, but it's not really in your possession if you think about it, because when you die, like, you don't really have anything except for your body. Yeah. You don't really have anything except for your body and your mind. And if you can train your body and your mind, you can really have anything that you want. But I think that's such an ego-driven thing, is to want shit. To want, you know, an Aventador. Like, what? I don't know. I've been struggling with this recently because I really like cars, and I don't like cars for the attention of having them. Like, I wouldn't buy like a Lambo just because it's a Lambo. Like, I might want to buy a Lambo in the future because I love, you know, like a V10 or a V12, or, you know, I love the body style of an Aventador or whatever. But and I love driving it, but I wouldn't buy one because it's like, oh, now I have a Lambo. Like, no. Like, it doesn't really make sense to me why people do that. Well, it does make sense to me, actually. That's not true. It makes perfect sense. But now that I've learned that, number one, that it's such an ego-driven thing and you'll never really be happy or fulfilled from that, it doesn't make sense for me. But I get it, if that makes sense, right? Yeah. But I've been struggling with that because, again, I really like cars. I really like driving cars, and I think that is okay. I think it's okay for me to want cars because I love driving them and not to want cars because I want to show other people that I have a certain car or whatever. Like, my dream car is a Honda S2000, and if you don't know much about cars, a Honda S2000 is not a very expensive car. But it's my dream car, and I love it. Like, I love the body style. I love, that it's a Honda, has VTEC. I love the sound of them. I love how they handle. I love how they drive. But I don't love it because it's an expensive car that is going to get me a lot of looks and attention and people, giving me their, like, hats off to you. You bought a S2000. Like, nobody's going to say that, and I don't want it for that. That makes sense. I think that's okay. But yeah, I think to the point of business, if your only reason for getting up out of bed every day and working on your business is to make money, you will fail. You will fail. And you might not, like, make it. If you want to work at if you want to, work at a company and you don't necessarily like the company, but you get up out of bed because you want to make money at the company, like, okay, that's different because there's so much less moving parts of you being an employee than you being the visionary, the being a CEO costs so much more mentally, physically, and emotionally than being an employee. And you can still make a shit ton of money being an employee. But if that's all that you want to do, like, you shouldn't go into business. You shouldn't be an entrepreneur if that's what you want to do. It's just make money. Because it's fucking pointless. I think that can be a motivation. I think making money can be motivating to an extent, but once you make money, it's like, okay, what's your next goal? Like, you're just gonna make more money? Like, it doesn't matter. It does not matter. Which is interesting because I've come to this insight from learning from a lot of other entrepreneurs and from learning from a lot of high performing people that have made a lot of money, and I've learned how meaningless but also how detrimental the desire for money can be. Because money in itself, it can only have the effect that you place on it, and if you desire, like, the desire to have money is so strong to where that is the only thing that gets you up out of bed, it's like it's never gonna work. It's never gonna work because I've been doing this every day for the last 8 months, which is not like that long of a time for creating a business. And it's embarrassing how much money that I've made. Meaning, not embarrassing like, oh my God, I've made so much money, it's embarrassing. Like, no. It's embarrassing because I've made, like, nothing. But I I'm really excited about where I'm heading into. I don't want to talk about it too much yet because I want to make sure that, it really starts happening. But I have a business partner that I'm really happy about. He's been my mentor for the past 4 months, and now we're partnering up. And I know that we're going to do great things. And, that's my motivator is not money at this point. Going into this, being less mature than I am, I'm not, the most mature person on the planet, but I've matured over the time of, starting my business and, working through these problems. Going into this, money was 100% I would say probably my top motivator for getting up out of bed and doing this every day at the beginning. Because again, I was still in high school. I'm fresh out of high school now, but I've learned so damn much about business and about CEO and entrepreneurship. And yeah, making a shit ton of money. I want to make a lot of money, but it's not, I don't care that much anymore about making money. I care about building something really impactful and meaningful. And that's why I'm in this space, because I love, my mom's a business owner, and she has taught me so much about just what being a CEO is all about. She works 7 days a week, nonstop. Sometimes she doesn't do it as much anymore, but she would work until 4 o'clock in the morning, get up at 7, meetings all day, and repeat the process every single day. And over the last 30 years, she's really built her business, and now I get to work with her because I am marketing her business, and it's awesome. I love it so much, and I don't love it because of the paychecks. I can tell you that right now. I'm not worried about money, but I love it because I am really making a difference, not just in my mom, but in other business owners, and I fucking love that. It's indescribable, the feeling of solving a really hard-pressing problem for your clients. And especially, obviously, I have an emotional attachment to my mom, right? But it's so awesome to see her relief because, and I can relate to it as a business owner, she is always go, and always stressed about some problem. And that's why I love it so much, is I don't want to be just a marketing agency. We are problem solvers. We're client relationship experts. We're fulfillment experts. We're service delivery experts. And we love our clients. And I think that's what kind of is going to set us apart in this market. And I think that's what it really takes to win. Because again, it's money. It's dude, you're not going to win if that's your deciding factor. Money isn't everything. That's kind of my first point. The other point that I was thinking about was, I just wrote, if you live for opinions, you will never love who you are and regret everything. So if all you do is live for the opinions of other people, meaning you constantly seek validation from other people and your actions align with validation seeking behavior, you'll never love yourself because you don't know who you even are. you will have created a character that isn't true to yourself, and so you'll never love that person. And it will bring you no fulfillment, and I think it'll do the opposite and leave you empty, and yeah, it's just destructive, man. Like, it's so immature to want to do things to impress people or to get back at people. And it ends up just sometimes it ends up just proving those people right. And if you really want to if your whole thing is I'm going to prove these people wrong, just be yourself, man. Like, do what you want to do. Don't do things because you're going to get smiles and congratulations from other people. No, like, I mean, that's kind of contradictory to what I just said, because not really though. I love marketing because yes, I get that satisfaction of my customers being happy and congratulating me or whatever. But not even really. I just love solving problems, and I love relieving stress and like helping people out, and I think that's kind of why I work so hard. But yeah, if you live for other people's opinions, you will end up regretting it, and you will never love who you are. So the next point I wrote is we are the sum of the 5 people we are with the most. I think everyone's heard this quote before, but what I also concluded is I don't have a lot of friends at this stage of my life because I don't relate to a lot of people anymore, simply because of the path and the journey that I've taken on, and this speaks to how much I've changed. And I don't think that's a bad thing. I don't relate to a lot of people simply because what I do every day and what my goals and values and aspirations are don't align with most people. So it's hard to make true friends, and it's hard to meet people that I really relate to. And sometimes I get down about it. Frequently, honestly, I'll get down about it because, again, like, I'm 18, I'm young, and according to society, I should have a lot of friends, but the other thing is, like, camaraderie is so damn important, and I don't find camaraderie in most of the people my age. Everyone just does stupid shit all the time, and no one's values really align with mine, and I think so differently from people that, like, I don't really want to spend the energy. Like, I would have to change who I am at this point to become friends with the people that I was friends with. I know for a fact there are more people like me that I could relate to, but it's hard to find them in, regular social interactions, like when I go to the gym or when I go out shopping or grocery shopping or whatever the hell else I might be doing. I don't find people my age that are willing to, like, put down drinking and partying and pretty much sacrificing relationships for something that they just, like, have such a passion for, such a desire for. I don't see anyone else doing that at my age, which I don't blame them. Like, it makes sense. Like, that's why there's so many older entrepreneurs, I think, because once you get to a certain age, like, you realize, like, oh shit, like, I better do this, and then you realize how much time you actually wasted. And I think when you're my age, you're like, oh, I'm not wasting time, I'm just, like, having fun or whatever. The concept of having fun I think is all fucked up. Because you can have fun and not give in to pleasure-seeking behavior. Because I don't even necessarily associate pleasures with fun. Doing what I do every day, this is my fun. Going out, drinking, getting wasted, waking up the next day with a fucking headache, not being able to function properly, partying, having meaningless sex. That doesn't sound fun. That does not sound fun to me. Maybe I'm absolutely insane. I mean, I know I'm different from people my age. And it's crazy, like, meeting people and, like, that's their whole personalities. Like I meet them and I'm like, what'd you do? And they're like, oh, I was just out drinking with my friends, like, haha. And it just, like, turns me off from so many people, especially girls. And I think that's why I'm, like, okay with not being in a relationship right now. But anyways, we are the sum of the 5 people we are the most. So I think it's okay to not be around people for a while. If you're changing yourself, and, like, here, let me put it this way. If you really want yourself to grow, your friends are not necessarily holding you back, but they probably, if you're hanging out with them all the time, they're probably contributing to your stagnant character or the lack of character development. Because unless you have because if you had incredible friends, you'd already be there. You would feed off each other. You would constantly be working towards one another, or towards, improving yourself and developing into the person you want to be, which is, like, the friends that I really want. But most of the time, if you really you're like, ugh, I'm in this rut I can't get out of. I need to fundamentally change who the hell I am, what I stand for, and what I do. I can tell you, your friends probably don't align with your dreams and aspirations. Because, like I said, if they did, you would already be on that path, or you would already be where you want to be. Yeah, so I've not totally separated from my friends, but I have significantly changed the amount of time that I spend around a lot of people. And sometimes that's been family, and that's been hard. More hard for them because they don't really understand. And then it makes me think that I'm doing something wrong, but I just have a different perspective, man. Like, obviously, I love my family. I love my parents so much. They taught me how to be a good man. They taught me how to be a good person. They taught me to have integrity, to be honest. They taught me to be respectful. But I just have a different perspective. Like, for me, it brings me to this point, actually. If you know what you want and know that it might need to put things on pause, but you know that this is, like, you have to do this thing, and it's, for me, it's creating in some aspect. Right now it's this business, but you know that it's going to put things on pause, like relationships, trips, or whatever, mostly relationships. You will never be happy with yourself if you don't go all in, which means putting those relationships on pause, which will end up affecting those relationships if you don't go all in, because you'll never be happy with yourself. And that will reflect outwardly. So if you know this is who you are, you have to fucking do it. It's gonna suck. People won't understand. People will tell you, you're spending too much time working, or you don't, put your family in priority, but that's okay. Because if you don't, you'll never be happy with yourself. You'll never create like you were meant to create. You'll never fulfill your purpose. You'll never be fulfilled. You'll never have fulfillment. And that's what I believe. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's just my perspective. That's just how I see it. I came across this quote, and I really fucking love it. So it says, I slept and dreamt that life was joy. I woke up and saw that life was duty. I acted, and behold, duty was joy. I fucking love that quote because it helps me really express what I've been feeling recently. And so many people are hung up on I need to want to do the work every day. I think, okay, so here's the thing. Like my earlier point, if you think that you want to start a business because of money or because of a certain outcome that it's going to get, you shouldn't start a fucking business. If you learn that you actually love creating this business and you love the everyday bullshit that you have to go through and you actually are in some way addicted to how difficult it is and challenging it is, then amazing. Do it. So what this quote means to me: I slept and dreamt that life was joy. I woke up and saw that life was duty. I acted, and behold, duty was joy. This to me says everything about the journey and nothing about the destination. Your actions every day is the joy of what you think you want. Like, I thought I wanted 10K a month. I still do. Like, so I'm not saying I don't want it, but I thought that once I hit 10K a month, I'll be happy. Because all that you're really chasing is happiness. That's all that you're ever really chasing. But true happiness is joy. And joy is long-lasting. And joy is rooted in fulfillment. And joy is rooted in passion. And yeah, and I think, yeah, duty was joy. So doing the things that you know you need to do every single day, that really brings you joy. And that's what I've been learning over this this kind of period. So yeah, that's kind of all that I have for today. I really hope some people listen, and I hope some people find this interesting. Once again, I'm 18, I'm a business owner. And I use this software called Go High Level for all of my agency owner needs. If you haven't tried Go High Level, I highly suggest it. You can get a 14-day free trial from Go High Level using my link. 14 days. And, at the beginning when I first started my journey, I got a client before I even had any software. And what happened was I bought Go High Level before even starting with this client, took a risk, and in that 14-day free trial, I set up everything for him. And he was already getting leads, and he was already bringing in sales without paying for anything. It was free for those 14 days. I didn't pay for a dime, and he was already getting sales, which obviously brings me money. So I highly suggest Go High Level. Please use my link. You will get 14 days free. And with that, that's pretty much all I have. I love you guys. And I love myself. And that sounds really selfish. But I'm saying that because I might be the only person that ever watches this, which is fine. That's what I intended it for anyways. But if I can impact someone else, that'd be cool too. So anyways, if you enjoyed, subscribe, like, leave a comment. I'll read it. Appreciate it. Thank you guys.